good. Love the way you do both. Swear I gotta keep you close. Drop dead, go to shake you for a pop.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to K London. As you can see, the title of this video is I went to hospital, and I did yesterday. I left work early, so I went, I think it was like minutes to 4. I packed up and I was gone. But I wanted to share my experience with you because I absolutely hated it. And today, on a Saturday, right, I normally I'm up early, I'm active, I'm doing stuff, and I feel like I have, like, I don't even want to be dramatic, but I literally feel like I have PTSD. I have a post-it note from yesterday that I was at work writing on the post-it note of all the things I had to do this weekend, and they were all upbeat, lively, like be Kaisha self and go out and create and promote my business and do all this stuff. And when I got up this morning, I was obviously so grateful for life, grateful for getting out of my bed, but I just felt like I didn't want to move, and I didn't want to do all the upbeat, active stuff that I had planned for today. And so I'm going to share properly because I've obviously jumped into it. So first of all, I hope you guys are all alright. So on Wednesday, I was eating breakfast at work. I had baked beans and a bagel. And and actually when I leave home, I have my breakfast in a flask, right? It's a bamboo flask, and normally it keeps my food warm until I get to work. Obviously I've got an hour journey, but it's starting to get cold now, so my warm baked beans and bagel when I got to work was slightly cold, and I wasn't like up for eating it cold, so I decided to put it in the microwave in the kitchen. So my food wasn't cold, it wasn't too hot. And so obviously I sat down and ate after I dealt with a volunteer, and then I felt something in my throat, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is it? It's like, is it a bean? Like, it literally felt like I had a bean stuck in my throat. So shortly after, I was chugging back drinks. I was chewing a mint to see if like the movement of the chew would get rid of it, and nothing. Then obviously it kept bothering me. I have my lunch at like 12, so I ate my lunch thinking that eating my couscous and my bun with, what did I have in it this week? I think I had fish, like codfish gorgeons or whatever, thinking that that would have moved it, but it didn't. So I'm still like trying to swallow and chew and do all sorts of whatever to get rid of it, and it wouldn't go. I had something else on my mind, so I was kind of like not letting it bother me all day by focusing on work and this other thing that I was dealing with, until I got home and I had told my cousin, shout out to Camila, that I had a bean stuck in my throat, and she messaged me to say, how's your bean? So I was like, oh my gosh, because I was still sorting out this thing that I was focusing on. So the bean was like back of my head, back of my throat. Oh gosh, there's bees flying around me. But then she reminded me, and I immediately swallowed my saliva, unfortunately, and I felt it again, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's still there. So I told my mum, and she's like, oh, you need to go and have a hot drink, you need to eat crackers, you need to do this, you need to do that. I did everything that she told me. You know, Black Caribbean mothers, they have all the tricks and whatever. I did everything that she told me. It didn't go. So I had my dinner. And what did I have for dinner? I had a veggie burger, potato stars, I can't remember what else. And it still didn't go. So I went to sleep, got up Thursday, and for a minute I thought, oh, it's gone. It went during the night. It hadn't gone. I went to work. I had breakfast, but today that day I had a different veggie burger, so I wouldn't have to have baked beans and bagel, because I was so like, I don't want to eat baked beans again just in case. So then the whole of Thursday is still there. Now Friday comes, right? And okay, so I'm eating normally. I'm eating breakfast, lunch and dinner. But it's still there. So Friday comes, and at about 9:30ish, because I had been at work for a little while, 9:30ish, my throat started hurting. My glands were swollen. Every morning we had to take our temperature when we sign in. Yesterday morning mine was 35.5. Then at about 11 o'clock I took it again, because I could feel that my neck was getting hot, my glands were swollen here, my face was starting to feel some type of way, I was getting a bit of a headache, and so I took the temperature again and it was 36. Not a big difference, but the fact is I had gone up. So I told my mum that I've got a sore throat, and she's like, Kaisha, call the doctor, it has to come out. I was like, okay, I'll call the doctor. So I called the doctor, and they said, we'll get a doctor to call you. Well, okay, I called my GP, and they said they'll get a doctor to call me. So I was waiting. It got to about 12:15. I sat down. Well, I didn't really move to have my lunch, but I sat down to eat my lunch, right? I'm putting my spoonfuls in, eating it, and then my phone rings. It's my doctor's surgery. And she says, there's nothing we can do about it. We don't have the tools to look down your throat. It's better to check it out sooner rather than later. You have to go to A&E. When I tell you, I'm not a drama queen. I'm not a drama queen. Maybe I react big sometimes, but I'm not a drama queen, right? I've been called a DQ, and I'm like, whatever, shut up. So I put my spoon down. I felt like I had a frog in my throat now, not just a bean, a frog. And I was immediately put off my food. Like, I hadn't even eaten my second part of my lunch. I was literally eating my couscous salad thing, and I immediately felt like my appetite was gone. I had to go to the hospital. And so I called my mum back, and she was telling me, it's gonna be alright, God is with you, just pray, take gloves, do this, do that, you need to get it out, this, that and the other, blah 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 blah. And I'm like getting upset because, one, I've got to go to the hospital. Two, I'm fit and healthy. I shouldn't have to go to the hospital. 3, this stupid baked bean is stuck in my throat and is causing me all of this problem. 4, I've got to go to the hospital. 5, we're in the middle of a damn pandemic. I've got to go to the hospital. And okay, the numbers go on and on, because all I can think about is going to the hospital. So I got on with my work. I forced myself to eat, actually, because I thought, if I go to the hospital and then tell me that I've got to have whatever kind of procedure and I can't eat, I'm gonna be starving, because I would have lost it at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I kind of forced myself to eat the rest of my lunch. I couldn't even eat my fruits and my my oats biscuit, my oats, what are they, like oats and ginger biscuit type things, because I lost my appetite. So I kept drinking and whatever. I was gargling my throat with salt water. There's like salt in the cupboard at work, so I was doing that. And then I got on with my work after I finished my lunch. Tried to get everything done as soon as possible. I had to do mail out stuff and all whatever. So I did all of that. And then I told my manager that I've got to go to the hospital. And I had previously told her that I've got something stuck in my throat. And she was like, get that sorted out. So when I told her I'm going to go to hospital, she was like, go now. Like, the sooner you go, the better. Which I really appreciated. So then I started packing up my stuff. I booked my Uber and I went. So it was about 3:45. I probably got there at 4 o'clock on the dot. And oh my gosh, I literally just couldn't believe that I was there. I was in the queue. There was like 5 people in front of me. And then when I got there and got to the reception and explained my issue, she was like, okay, sit over there, wait for your name to be called. So I'm sitting. I must have been sitting and waiting for about an hour. And then I was listening to what everyone was saying was their problem and like looking at everything. So everyone had surgical face masks on, but I had my shield on. And so I was literally just looking at everything. Obviously very wary because I'm going into a hospital with other sick people and the virus is around and you don't obviously know who has it. And I have to sit down on something like, you guys know I'm OCD. So I was just looking at everything. Like I didn't even want to touch stuff. I touched my phone, but that's really it. I think actually I touched my headset because I had already had it connected to my iPod, my Bob Marley thing. So I touched that to press play when I decided to put it in my ear. But I was literally listening to everything going on around me. There was a guy in handcuffs that came out. Oh my goodness, just with police officers. There was a girl who was lightheaded and weak, and she was saying, I haven't eaten in 5 days, I've got pins and needles. There was a woman who had fallen over and hurt her arm. There was a man who hurt his foot and was in a wheelchair. There were people coughing, and oh my gosh, obviously you're coughing, yeah, you're thinking about COVID immediately. Then there was a woman saying, I feel like I'm gonna die. And meanwhile, here's me with a bean in my throat. So on a scale of 1 to 100, I feel like I was at 1 up in the hospital because I had a bean stuck in my throat. So it's crazy because I hadn't been in a hospital for years, right? And then I go in because of that situation, and little did I know, the bean was no longer in my throat, but every single thing that I had tried to do potentially caused me to scratch the back of my throat. So I was told that I have, because it's still an issue right now, I have global sensation, and the only thing that I should do is gargle my throat with salt water and take this thing that soothes your throat. I don't want to take the thing that soothes my throat because of all the chemicals that are in it, but I'm gargling my throat with salt water. I've done it twice today already, and they didn't want to put a camera down my throat because it would have provoked it even more. So the best thing to do is to leave it and let it heal, which she said it will take about 2 weeks. So because I'm doing the salt water and that, I'm hoping that it stays clean and whatever, I've got to eat soft food, this and that. But the reason why I wanted to do this video is because, okay, one, I kind of record and like capture a lot of things. So I was taking little tiny clips while I was in hospital because for my sake. But then I've had this on my mind. It's now 5:20ish, yeah, and all day I've had it on my mind to record a video and tell you guys what I experienced yesterday, because we have to take care of our health. Like, you guys know how I take care of my health, but I still ended up having to go to A&E, and it could have been worse because clearly I saw people that were in worse situations, and so I don't know if people value their health as much as they should. I don't know if people go out of their way to do things to make sure that they are healthy and that they're looking after and cherishing their vessel. Like, your body is a temple. That's what we're told by God. Our body is a temple, and so we need to look after it. Like, my situation, it happens to a lot of people. Like, I've had a bone from fish stuck in my throat. All I eat is fish pretty much. So I have had a bone from fish stuck in my throat many times before. I've eaten bread and it's gone. Clearly it hasn't caused any issues going down because I haven't got any tears or whatever in my stomach, in my esophagus, in, you know, anywhere. Being in a hospital was the last place I wanted to be, but it made me even more grateful for health, for life, for my strength, for the fact that I do look after my body, and so it wasn't anything worse. But I just wanted it to be a message to you guys that do go over and beyond to look after your health. Spend the money, like buy the healthy food, stop eating takeaway. And the woman said to me, don't drink alcohol and smoke and eat pepper. And I'm like, thank you Jesus, I do none of those things. So even if I had to have some kind of procedure to get the thing out, and I wouldn't be able to smoke, drink or whatever, that wouldn't bother me because I don't do those anyway. So just do what you have to do to ensure that you are at your healthiest. You are healthy, happy, positive, like strong-minded, and you have faith, because those are the things that literally helped me yesterday when I'm like sitting in that place watching everybody else in worse situations than me. And when I tell you, oh my goodness, I prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed some more to not have to have a COVID test. I didn't have to. The woman said to me, they just don't want to put the camera down your throat to upset it anymore, so you can do this and then you can go home. And when she said that, I was like, oh my goodness, thank you Jesus. My glands are going down now. It's not as swollen as it was yesterday. So I'm just honestly so grateful, and I want you guys to be proactive about your health. If anything is wrong, get it dealt with, because you don't want to neglect to give whatever it is the attention that it needs, and it gets worse. So hopefully that just wakes you guys up a little bit, and because you guys see me talk about healthy eating, eat healthy stuff, exercise, drink water, drink fruit water, have vitamins and all of that, and here I am saying I went to the hospital. So yeah, just do what you need to do to be healthy. And thank you so much for watching, and make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, and have a good day wherever you are. From K London.